Hey, and I'm back again live. Is there such a thing as a coincidence? Who knows? Funny old day today. So it started out with me doing something that I've never done before, and I had a call with a psychic, and it was quite bizarre. Let's just say that she identified a couple of things. Now, I know I'm all over social media, and you can look me up, but there was definitely more than half a dozen things there that you couldn't easily find out about me. So it was a very bizarre experience. Not quite sure how I feel. I wrote it all down, but I'll tell you what one of the really bizarre things was. She said to me during the call, write down these three names if they don't mean anything to you just now. And she said, don't worry about it, nothing much, but something's going to happen with each one of these individuals. So I wrote the names down, and then something else happened today, something else really, really strange. So let's just say that I agreed to do a good deed. So I was going to do this good deed today. And for some reason, I was on autopilot. So I ended up driving past the road that I was supposed to be driving past. So I had to go along, turn around and come back. As I was turning around to come back, I met somebody who I just shouted out the car window hello to, and he flagged me down and said, I need your help. So I'm not going to go into all the details of what it was that I ended up helping him out with. Needless to say, it was fairly traumatic actually, and it makes you check in with life and what people do and what people don't do. It's amazing as well what some people tolerate. But anyway, I did that. I helped out there, and then I went off to do my good deed. My good deed was really odd because I was given an address, but I didn't know the name of the person. So I ended up having to phone an absolute stranger to get the name of somebody so that I could do this good deed. It was basically delivering some flowers, a particular kind of flower. So anyway, I did that too. I dropped it off, ended up having to knock on a few doors until I eventually found someone, and then stood at the door saying, do you know such and such a person? Because I got their name by making a random telephone call. I told you, life's just really, really, really weird. And then I ended up dropping off this parcel, going back home again. At this point in time, husband saying, where the hell are you? You've been away for hours and you were only supposed to be going to drop off a parcel. And I had said, well, here's what happened. I ended up doing this. So I drove a lot further than I was supposed to because I was on autopilot. Goodness knows what was going on in my mind. I turned around. I then met this person. And I had told him in the car about my meeting with the psychic because it was quite bizarre, and there was a couple of things that related to him as well. So he said, oh, that's strange. Did the lady not tell you to write down those names and not to be too worried about them because it wasn't too much? So I had written those names down. And what was it? One of those names just happened to be the name of the person that I saw today. So there you go. Was that a coincidence? I have absolutely no idea whether that was a coincidence or did she predict it or what was it. But she ended up being able to tell me one of my deepest desires in life, something that I have always wanted to do. So that was really strange too, because even although I'm doing what I'm doing, I have something inside me that I really want to do. And it's not something that I have shared with anybody before, because it's one of those things that you've got a little bit of a fear about. And I have a very big fear about doing this for a number of reasons. One of them is rejection, but everybody ultimately, I think, ends up fearing rejection. So it was very interesting that she was able to identify that within me, because it's something that has been sitting there for a long time, and it's something that I really want to do. So I think it gave me a little bit of a kick to sit down and stop making excuses for things that I want to do. I mean, I say it all the time, and I think I've said it on these videos on quite a few occasions in the past. Time passes you by quickly. And we all have our passions and our wishes and our desires. And For me, I can't think of anything worse than sitting on my deathbed or being at the end of my life and wishing that I had done X, Y, and Z. So I think that's why I take so many chances at the moment. I think it's why I do so many things. I think it's why I'm on here at the moment, chatting away. I'm sharing where I'm at in the hope that maybe somebody out there will see it and say to themselves, well, maybe I can take a risk too. I have gambled with so many things. I've walked away from jobs. I mean, I walked away as a 32-year-old. I walked away from a partnership in a law firm in Scotland. You just don't do those kinds of things. You don't just walk away from them. But I had to walk away from it. It was something that I needed to do. Inside said to me, this is the right thing to do, walking away and leaving and going trying something else. And I packed up my bags and I sold my house with my son and my husband and my daughter. And we moved to another country. And you've just sometimes got to do these things. But anyway, today's chat was, is there any such thing as a coincidence? Was it a coincidence that she mentioned those names today and I just so happened to bump into a man with that exact name? Was it a coincidence? Is that what she meant? I don't know. I guess it's entirely up to me to interpret it. Do I believe her? Do I believe the things that she told me? Well, a lot of it was pretty close to the bone. I appreciate that a lot of it you could probably find out by doing a Google search on me, because I think I share everything except the colour of my underpants every day. So yeah, you could, but there's also an awful lot on there that there's absolutely no way that she could know. No way, absolutely no way that she could know it. So who knows? Who knows? I've no idea. Anyway, I've waffled now for 7 minutes. How do I feel now? I'm just going to say that I don't even know what the date is. Today's date is the 16th. So I have been doing this now since the 1st of January. How do I feel about the fact that I'm coming on every day? I actually think that the growth within myself is quite phenomenal. I did say when I was doing this that I didn't care whether anyone listened. I wasn't particularly interested in whether I got likes or anything else, that I was doing this purely from a personal growth perspective. And I can tell you that from a personal growth perspective, the change is quite phenomenal. I feel much more confident. I'm standing here and I can see myself now back on a stage, back in front of people, back in a place where I'm delivering. And that to me was the goal here. So I have achieved my goal in a matter of 2 weeks. So that makes me think, how is this going to look a month down the line, 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line? The point for me was that I had stopped doing this and I had noticed the changes inside. I had noticed the fact that I was going more into my shell again. I wasn't being the real me. I wasn't putting things out there. And now that I'm doing this, even if I'm talking to nobody, I don't care, because the fact is that I'm putting myself out and I'm putting myself out into the world and I'm speaking freely. And that was all part of my goal. So I'm achieving what I want to achieve by doing this. So I'm going to stop waffling now. I'm heading out for a barbecue, which is very interesting, given that this is the first time it has rained in literally weeks. So I have to go out and get changed, go for a barbecue, and then I'm excited to come back and read my new book. I've decided to read that book that I've seen out there for ages, where the crawdads sing. So far, I am thoroughly enjoying it, and there's nothing I like more than to snuggle up at night with a nice cup of herb tea. I like my herbal teas, nice cup of herbal tea in my book, and I'm definitely on to a winner of a book at the moment. So I shall see you back on tomorrow's video. Wherever you are, have a very nice Saturday, or if you're into Sunday, enjoy your Sunday. And I'll see you back on my Sunday. So have a good day. And if you've been listening, thanks so much for listening. And being part of my little personal development exercise. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.